Anthony, so first of all, take me back to the summer, how this move all came about and why you chose to come to Shrewsbury.
Yeah, as I said when I first signed, when the manager got the job at Shrewsbury, and throughout the summer, we kind of made contact with each other. We stayed in contact throughout the years, to be fair, from when I left Lincoln, when he left Lincoln. So we've always stayed in contact, and seen it as a really good opportunity to hopefully come back together and get myself back playing again after what's been quite a tough few years for me. Obviously injury wise, everyone knows that I've had a tough couple of years in that sense. So me and the manager probably spoke quite early on in the summer, and we just stayed in touch throughout the whole thing. It wasn't something that was able to be done early, so we had to be patient with it, but we always stayed in touch. I just made sure I kept myself really fit. And then probably a week before I did sign officially is when I started to really ramp up, and then it was the only place I wanted to be, back working with the manager, and that's the main reason why this move appealed to me, being back with the gaffer, being back with Rich. I think it's what I needed at this point in my career.
Obviously you walk into a team who's just been relegated, a lot of last season's squad still here. What was sort of the moods and atmosphere like when you came? Did it feel like a side that had been relegated, or was everyone fairly just reset?
No, honestly, when I walked in the door, the vibe about the place was amazing. The boys, the staff, everybody it was a real good mood, and I think nobody ever wants to get relegated, but that's in the past. You can't control that now. What we can control is trying to get back to the division that we were in last season, and that is the mood around the camp. That's what everybody wants to do. So there's definitely no hangover or feeling sorry for ourselves. There's none of that.
Obviously you mentioned briefly in the first answer you struggled for minutes a lot. I know you've had quite a few injuries
Yeah.
as well. So how was it to get minutes over pre-season and then to get over 70 minutes against Bromley in the first league game?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it's a good change, but it was really good. As you mentioned, obviously I've not had lots of minutes over the last few years. I kind of had made a decision myself last year to basically ruin last season by having another operation. But that wasn't another injury, that was kind of rectifying a lot of the problems that I was having over the years by having this operation. And so far it's worked really well. Physically I feel great, my body feels really good. I'm training every day, getting through the minutes, so long may it continue.
Obviously the long break in the game last weekend was unforeseen and doesn't help anyone's momentum getting through and going, especially in the first game. Perhaps not creating as much as you would have wanted going forwards. Has that been sort of a main focus in training this weekend?
Not overly doing too much, but we know in football that's always the ideal part of the pitch that everybody wants, and that's the toughest part, but also that comes with time. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 games, more work on the training pitch for the final tour stuff to really gel, and we know that. I've been there myself before, teams where the first few games of the season it's not quite clicked in the final tour, and that can be expected, especially with a new group, new players. But the main thing you want to be as a team is solid as an 11, and then boys that come off the bench, you want to make sure that you aren't looking like conceding, you're real solid defensively. And we did that, we didn't concede. So if we can have that good base to build from, and as the games go, naturally the relationships form better, the final tour stuff does just fall into place a bit more. Hopefully that is Saturday it comes, but as I said, the main thing is being solid as a group, keeping the clean sheet, which was well deserved, and yet the final tour stuff will build on that, and that will come.
And how have you found it moving into a new system? I know back three here you didn't play that at all, I think, or a lot with Colchester last season, especially with the wing back. So how have you sort of found adapting to that? Yeah, fine.
Throughout my career I've played in teams that are 4-4-2, 5-4-1. I think you have to be fluid and adaptable. And yeah, it's absolutely fine, to be fair, to play and to adapt to. You get my individual role from the manager, obviously within that system, and yeah, it's absolutely fine.
How are you feeling heading to Tranmere tomorrow?
Excited. Yeah, really excited. I see we've sold out the fans, the away end, so that's brilliant. That'll be great support for us tomorrow, and yeah, really looking forward to it.
Have you set yourself any personal targets for this season?
I have, yeah. I'll keep them to myself.
Okay.
But I have done, yeah. I have.
What can this team achieve, do you feel?
If anything we want to, really. We've got everything that we need to go and compete at the top of the division. As I've mentioned before, and I have said it a lot, the manager's the main one. The way he lets us play with the freedom, and also the style we play, it has the possibility of being real successful. It's down to us to take ownership of that. and put it on the pitch, and I'm pretty sure we will do as the games start to come thick and fast, and then after a few 3, 4, 5 games, once the relationships form, because as I said, we've got a lot of new players, so that doesn't just click instantly, but as I said, we have everything there possible to have a really successful season, so the aim should be right to the top.
Best of luck.
Thanks.